Good afternoon to all IEM and UEM family members again. So here we meet again for the afternoon meeting where Professor Ratul Dey from Department of Computer Science and Engineering of UEM Jaipur will be talking on a very favorite topic of all of us, which is blockchain. As it is so commonly said now, internet changed our lives. Next, our life is going to be changed by blockchain. And we are not going to rely on anything if it is not through blockchain. So definitely, Professor Ratul, I'm sure you are going to make it easy for everybody to understand, as you understand that there are many people from different domains present over here. So we'll be eagerly waiting for this topic. You may kindly take over.
Okay. Good afternoon, sir, and good afternoon all the faculty members. Myself Ratul Dey. Today I have to discuss the blockchain technology and its application. Before I starting my presentation, I will show my gratitude to the Chancellor sir, Vice Chancellor sir, Dean sir, and the HOD of the Department of CSE. So today we have to discuss about the introduction and the motivation of the blockchain, secure hash algorithm, immutable ledger, smart contract, and its application of the different application of the blockchain. So the motivation is coming the long time ago. We can see the time of the king and the emperor. We have to use the physical coin. Still now we have the physical coin, but there on that time there is the only and only the physical coin is there. Now you can understand that whenever we are using some physical coin, there is the only you have to physically present on that particular time whenever you are exchanging money or you want to buy or sell some product. So now recently we have to use the exchange money through the bank. Definitely remotely we have to use some Google Pay or the other things, but on that time we have to some problem in between the through the bank exchange. Because of that we have to compromise with the anonymity. Whenever we have to transfer something data through the banking system, we have to share our contact number, our email address, our details of that. So we have to use some trusted third party. So the trusted third party is the bank is there. So they have all the information about us, whatever we have to use the details information. Now sometimes what may happen, all this information can be used in some another purpose. Maybe they have to fit all the details information about you, fit it in some machine learning algorithm, and they can easily find out the characteristics, the behavior of yourself. So they can, maybe sometimes this information may be against with you. So we need something that trust maintenance by the technology. So we are using such a technology. We can trust on the technology. We can use in the different kind of e-commerce site. We can send some money, some goods, some energy, anything we can share with us, the exchanging system. Now I will just give one example. In the transaction, if suppose Alice wants to say pay $10 to the Bob, so definitely they will use some trusted third party, which is called the bank is there, who are the trusted third party, who can ensure that this money will be shared to the Alice to Bob. Now if we use the same way in the blockchain technology, if the Alice wants to send the $10, that there is the intermediate, there is the so many blocks are there. There is the anonymity is the high. So the public, that means the trusted third party, will never know who you are. So basically we have to we are not compromised with the anonymity. The same thing has happened for the share market also. If suppose Alice wants to buy some share to the company A, now we have to first going to some clearing houses. In the India there is so many clearing houses are there, some of the popular are there. So Alice wants to register first to these clearing houses, and after that they can buy share and find out the dividend, all this intermediate work through the clearing houses. So if this clearing house is not present, if we are using the blockchain such a way that Alice can buy direct from the company can pay direct dividend to that Alice account. So it is possible to peer-to-peer trading using the blockchain technology. The main idea is formed by the Stobart Haber and Westcott in the 1991, that how the digital timestamp, how to timestamp a digital documents. And after that, in the 2008, the first Satoshi Nakamoto is present one thing that is called the Bitcoin, and first time we have seen the blockchain technology and the Bitcoin, that how we can peer-to-peer electronic cash system can transfer to one particular location to another location without using of the trusted third party. So here the blockchain is nothing but a growing list of record, and which is called the block. So whenever this block are connected through the some cryptographic system, we can say this is called the blockchain. So basically there are the sender and receiver, and the intermediate part there is the so many block are there, and this block are connected between each other through the some cryptography system, and accordingly we can say this is the blockchain. Now I will just give you one example with you. Suppose block 1 wants to send some data to the another sender. Now whenever this is the first block is called the genesis block. So whenever the first block, there is no previous hash value is there for this particular block, because this is the first one, and there should be some hash value of this particular system. You can see that hash value is the 034 DFA357, and this hash value is coming to the previous hash value of the next block. Again, they have identified the individual hash value for the block 2, and this block value, this hash value is converted to the next previous hash for the block 3, and it will continue till the data or the information is going to the sender, the receiver nodes. Now we have to discuss about the some key feature of the hash algorithm. First is it is the defined range. Defined range means if you use one single bit, that will also consider as a 256 when it is converted the cryptographic system. If you use the 10 bit, it will also convert it to the 256 bit. So that means always the data set will be 256. Second is called the efficient. Efficient means whenever we have to transfer the block, transfer the data to one block to another, it not be the unlimited time. It will may have some specific time. So within this specific time domain, this block wants to transfer the data to one location to the another block. And the third one is called the deterministic. Deterministic means the same result for the hash value is the same time. That means if today I am sending one information to the block 1 to the block 2, if I am sending the same information tomorrow or day after tomorrow, it will create the same hash value whenever the data set is the same. And the third one, then the fourth one is the one way. If you consider for the hash algorithm is working for the one-way communication. That means data block 1 can send to the block 2 can send to the block 3. Block 3 cannot send to the data to the block 2. That with the one way. And the secondary pre-image resistance is there. If there is any block wants to change some value, there is the pre-image resistance is there. So can easily identify that how we have to change this block or not. Next is the collision resistance. So collision resistance means the identify the same hash value for the different transaction. It should not be possible. And the last one is the Avant criteria. This is called the single bit of the hash value. If any block wants to change one single bit, so automatically it will change the hash value, and it can easily identify that some particular block wants to change the data. So you can understand that you can easily identify the data will be manipulating by the block. So in previously we have to use the blockchain as a old Byzantine system where the 33% acceptance is required. But today's world we have to improve to the 50%. So if the one block wants to send some data to one block to the next block, it requires the 50% mining data. So you can easily identify that there is the chances of the wrong things should be happen. It's very less. Now we have to coming for the smart contract. So smart contract is the autonomous system, and it is totally transparent. Contract means we have to contract with the sender and the receiver. we have to first discuss about what the traditional contract is working. So if you consider for the traditional contract, there is a paper, something paperwork is done by the sender and receiver, and basically they have oversigned with the agreement. And after that, there is some auditing person, they can observe that are you actually maintain this particular thing or not. If there is something problem is there, so they can easily find out to the execution. That means they can identify if you not properly doing the same thing, so they will give some punishment, or if you continue with your agreement, so they will give some rewards or something extra feature for that. Now the same thing is happen in the smart contract. This is done by the software program. Basically the smart contract is nothing but a one software program where the all the agreement is written there. So there is the audit control system, so real time runtime system, we can see that actually this system will accept this contract or not. If they are accepting the contract, if they are doing according to the contract, they will have some reward. So basically we have to spend some extra digital currency to them, or otherwise they can penalized for that. So Bitcoin is a one kind of smart contract. So here we can see the whatever the contract is there, it is uh, publicly connected with all of you, and we can easily identify what is the contract is, and how many of the block are accepting this contract, or how many of are somehow they have to not accept this one. Now we have to go for some implementation, so you can understand that how this actual block is working for that. So I will quickly go for this one. So you can see that in this particular block, here is written the welcome message. So basically block 1 wants to send some message to the block 5. There is the 5 blocks are there. So in between this 1 to 5, there is the block number 2, 3, 4 are just sending the information to the block 1 to the block 5. Now if someone wants to change the information, now first of all, whenever the block 2 will receive this information, he will not see what is written in between that. Now someone wants to modify the information which is written in the block 1. You can understand, suppose I am writing here a, so automatically they can easily identify the according to the hash value there the block number 2 will doing something wrong. Maybe they can manipulate the data, maybe they can use some vulnerable thing. You can observe that whenever we have to add some data within the block 2, automatically this block value, this hash value will be changed. Suppose I am writing that a b, you can understand that automatically this value will be changed. Now if there is something suspicious thing is happen, so whatever they have done, they have initially first mined this own data. So they have to mine this own information. Now they can do this mining, and whenever they have to complete the mining, they can be free. But you can understand the next block will be unmined. Now on that particular point, the block 2 will be mined. At the same time, while block 2 can say that is the perfect one, we cannot modify the data, but the block 3 will say there is something modification is done in the previous block or in this particular communication, so we cannot accept this particular information. So it is very easy to identify if anybody have to change the data set. Now at the same way, block 2, suppose in this particular example, block 2 will cannot know who are the block 3. Maybe they are in the different geographical location, they are in some another place, but they will unable to understand who are the block 3, and they cannot communicate between the block 2 and block 3. So it is very easy to communicate between the block 1, block 2, that's the end block. So end block can easily identify that what is the actual data is, or is the data is manipulating. I will just give you one example in the block. You can see that how this hash value is working. There is the nonce value is there. So you can see the nonce value is the 72608. So if we are writing any other value in this particular location, it will always give some hash value is not same as that. Until and unless we are fitting the same value, nonce value, and identify the nonce value randomly, it is tends to impossible. So if anyone wants to change one block, it is tends to impossible to recap the previous one and say that it is unchanged. So this is the use of the hash value. Sir, I am requesting to share the poll one, please.
I'm doing it. So I have launched the first poll, and again, we will wait for 1 minute. So I request all members to quickly vote. We are into the 17th second. 30% votes we have received. I request all members to vote. Okay, so we are in the 37th second. The question is hash algorithm range is, it is 256-bit, 128-bit, 64-bit, or 32-bit. So you may quickly go ahead with the votes. We are into the 53rd second. I'm going to close it. The voting is lesser today. I don't know why. It is around 47% still. We have reached 1 minute. I close it with 47% votes and I share the results. You can find the results. 60% have gone for 256 bits, 27% 128 bit, 10% gone for 64 bit, and 3% for 32 bits. So, Professor Ratul?
Yes, sir. Result is the 256 bit. So whatever we have to sending the information, this all the data will be converted to the 256 bit.
Okay. So you may continue.
Okay.
Thank you.
So we have to next we have to discuss about the application of the blockchain. So if you consider for the application of the blockchain, there are so many application is there, but in the people mind we can see that blockchain is the Bitcoin or some digital currency. But there are the lots of implementation is done, lots of application in done in the. So some of them are the law enforcement. If you consider for the law enforcement on that particular time, we have to see that the data, suppose I will give one example for the securing the chain of the custody. Now suppose if there is some criminal offenses done and some people are going to fire this particular person, so on that time we can see that after long time, because our judicial system takes a long time, so after some time maybe this evidence will be disappear. Sometimes the evidence will be not proper evidence will be deleted. Now we can see in the blockchain, if you use the blockchain on that particular section, so it cannot be deleted because it is a decentralized authority, and we can easily store this system to the decentralized system. And if any third party wants to change this data, they can easily identify who is the actual person who are changing this data. The second is the standardizing distributed crime report. So whenever if someone is the victimized person, we can easily share with the victimized person the whatever the actual problem it is. Now I will give one example. Suppose I am violating the traffic rules. Now on that situation, the police station can give me some information. Yes, on that particular location, or giving some video or image, yes, you are violating these traffic rules, and it is very safely we can transfer to the lawyer or the some other case to identify the actual crime report it is, and we can accept within that. The next one is the secure and interpretable in the data sharing. Now in the sometime we can observe that the data sharing, whenever we have to share the data, we are manipulating the data. Suppose I will give you one example. In the all over the India, we can see that the police is under the state government. Now whenever the crime report is wants to send to the central authority, they will manipulating the data. If we are using such something bit something blockchain within that particular section, so it cannot be manipulated. So you can easily identify the whatever the actual data it is. If anybody wants to manipulate this thing, they can easily identify, yes, this people is this particular state wants to manipulate the data. And the same way we have to use for the emergency alert system. So if you use in the police calling something, in the India in the 100, in the US is the 911. If you call some person, you cannot deny this thing, I am I am not calling, or this kind of haphazard thing will not done. And because of this is the decentralized authority is there, no, there is no central agency is there, there is the no chance of the delete of the data, there is the no chance of the modify of the data. Now some of the company are working within that. So cryptocell is the one of the company which is working for the using blockchain technology for this law enforcement system. Lenabus is the another company. BCOC is the another company which is working for the library management. Lenabus is working for the blockchain technology in the locking system also. When definitely we can, whenever we have to use the banking locking system, we have used the banking locker. So we have to check that, yes, whatever the agreement is done with you and the bank authority, they can check that, yes, actually they are use this particular contract or not. Either they are open your bank locker in behind of you. So if there is anything has happened, automatically blockchain can easily identify. And what has happened, they cannot manipulate the data, whatever the data it is, they can easily identify that. The same way the government of China can use this thing for the public security. And there is a lots of company, the Bitfor, Booz Allen, and Delight are company which are who are working for the law enforcement policy. Now the blockchain is also used for the cross-border payment. So few are the companies there, Circle, Ripple, and WeTrade. And we can say that whenever in even in the India, whenever we have to use the whenever the blockchain is banned or Bitcoin is banned, on that time also the Ripple is working properly for the cross-border payment. Now the benefit for the cross-border payment is, if you are using the send the money to the abroad. Now if you're using the bank account or the credit card, they will take near about that 1 day or 2 days time to complete transaction. But Ripple will take just near about 10 minutes. Just within this 10 minutes your transaction will be complete. So the Ripple is the one of the famous in the Indian market. So we have to check that. The next one is the supply chain management. The supply chain management is also is there. That is the uh, Originatal is the one of the company which can use the supply chain. OpenMart is the another company which is use the blockchain in the supply chain. And Walmart is the one of the famous and biggest company. Now in the Indian market, we can see that whenever we have to transport some agricultural systems, suppose some crop or some seeds wants to transfer one location to another location, whenever the receiver receive these crops, they can see the weight of these crops will be little bit less. So using the blockchain technology, you can easily identify that, yes, in the which particular section there will be some problem is there. At the same time, we can see that there is lots of the medical instrument wants to transfer one location to another location. In the current scenario, we can see the vaccine, we have to transport one location to another location. Now in this supply chain management, we can observe that is that company who are responsible for the supply chain management, they are actually maintain the proper rules and regulation, they are actually maintain the proper temperature, they are actually maintain the proper systematic way to transfer the system to one location to another location, is or not. If they are not, blockchain can easily identify. And if they wants to manipulate the data, the blockchain can easily identify this particular location, they have to modify the data. The same way, the real estate we can use for the different kind of blockchain technology. Profi is the one of the Ukraine based company which is working for the real estate. What is the actual price of this some particular land or flat? The property club is there, which is the New York based company, US based company, which are working for the real estate. Now the sports and e-sports, they have the some company, the Sportico, who can easily identify that if you suppose buy one ticket for the some sports, so your ticket is valid or not. Is there any confirmation is required for your ticket? Is there anything is connected to the e-ticket? This is they are taking the extra charges for that or not? So blockchain can easily identify. So using the blockchain, you can actually know the truth, actually what is the data it is. Now the player token is basically working for the esports in the Europe country. There is a esports is one of the famous part. So player token is working in the esports agency. Now in the healthcare system, we have the Brush IQ and the medical chain and the other lots of companies there. Now what is happen in the medical sector, if someone admitted to some hospital or the nursing home, they are hiding the data, they are always manipulate the data. So in the blockchain, if this system is connected to the blockchain, whatever data is actually generated in the hospital, the same data can also see the family of this particular person. So there is the no chances of the manipulating data, there is the no chances of the deleting the data. So as the data is in the decentralized manner, there is no chances of the there is no chances of the remove the data also. Some of the other company, the blockchain and the GEM guard time is the company who are using the blockchain as a healthcare system also. And some other application, we can see the insurance, we can use the blockchain. At the same time, the payment system, different kind of payment system, energy system, we can go for the application. I will just give you one example. In the energy system, whenever we have to transfer the energy, the power, one location to the another location in the electricity, the always there is the one question is arise from the receiver side. Receiver says that we are receiving the small the low voltage power. Now if you're using the blockchain, you can easily identify who are the liar, who are the actual, what is the actual thing. And if you use the blockchain with the IoT device, now at the same time you can identify where is the actual failure it is. So you can easily identify that in this particular point the power will be dropped, and you can easily communicate between that. And the next, we have to go for the different kind of trade and finance system, healthcare system, voting system. Now I can just explain with you the voting system. We can see the politician has said that we have to use the ballot paper, we are not using the UEM. Because of that, the voting can be manipulated by them, by the election commission. But if you're using the online voting system through the blockchain, there is the no chance of the changing the data. So whatever the people, so basically the who are the voter, they can also verify that yes, my data is correct, and my data definitely counted by the whatever the authority is. The same way, we have to use the real estate and the some of the government and the banking organization, supply chain organization, retail customer product, transportation, automotive system, digital integrity system, some assets management, and also the anti money laundering system also. So here the all of the space we can use the blockchain as a new technology, and we can discuss that this technology will be run with the in future. Thank you, sir, that's with me.
Okay, so do you want me to shoot the second poll?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I have launched another poll. So I will again wait for 1 minute. If you, I request all members to vote. So we are into the 21st second. I request all members to vote at your earliest. Smart contract is authorized by, that is, it is authorized by the government, through the organization, through the judicial system, or none of them? Okay, so we are into the 47th second. We will wait for, as told, we'll wait for 1 minute. In the meantime, if anybody wants to ask any questions, may write in the questions box. We are into 1 minute already. I close it. I share the results, and you can see 56% has gone for government agency, 23% for organization, 13% through judicial system, and 13% none of them. 9% through judicial system, 13% none of them. Professor Ratul, your comments, please.
Basically, the smart contract is done by the two person, or the sender and the receiver. So there should not involve the government agency or some organization. There is the individual part. The result should be the none of them.
Okay, so none of them is the answer according to Professor Ratul, which 13% people had voted for. Okay, so one thing I will comment over here: blockchain actually removes the central part. Like, there should not be any central authority. It is about peer-to-peer, and it basically is built on a consensus network. Consensus application is most important. As you were saying, 50% is needed, 50% people to approve it in the peer-to-peer network. So the central part is eliminated, which actually government, which eliminates out government's approval. Okay, so thank you, Professor Ratul. I do not see too much of questions in the questions box, though there is one question. I will read that out. In the meantime, there is a second question also. Let me read out the questions. The first question is from Dr. Umesh Dash. What is the future of digital currency?
Basically, sir, if you consider for the digital currency have the two aspect. The first one is the digital currency can store as a asset, because in the today's world we can see the digital currency, people are use the digital currency for a asset. Suppose I am buying the digital currency today, and after some time we have to again sell out and make some profit. The second future of the digital currency is the, basically if you consider for the real life transaction or alternative currency, we can use the digital currency as to pay my electricity bill, as pay the taxi bill, or the other case. So this is the alternative of the our currency system.
Okay, next question is from Professor Shantanu Boshak. He asks, how shall we buy cryptocurrency and how that can be used or spent in India? How can we buy cryptocurrency?
Yes, there is the historical thing, that is the whenever in the 2008, whenever the blockchain or digital currency coming to the market, we can observe that government of India directly stopped this particular digital currency. Now in the 4th March 2020, I believe in the March 2020, there is the honorable Supreme Court give the judgment that digital currency is legal in the India. So we can see that after that lots of company are coming to the market, and we can see one of the famous company is the CoinSwitch Kuber. So definitely we can connect to the CoinSwitch Kuber, and we have to go for the KYC or something something legal procedure, and after that definitely we can buy the digital currency.
Okay, so you can see the different advertisements now about the different apps which are allowing you to buy cryptocurrency and spend also. Okay, so Mrityunjoy Shen, he asks, so how people come to consensus whenever any transaction happens. Now, because I use the word consensus, I will firstly reply a little bit, Professor Ratul, if you allow me, then I hand it over to you again. See, the
Yes,
consensus
yes.
is in the net. The consensus is in the network. That is, when a transaction happens or anything like that, Bitcoin, this blockchain allows another. What we do is we create another node, and we keep on adding that nodes in the in all the peers, in everybody who is there in the peer-to-peer network. So the consensus comes from the people because the copies of the same thing are present with everybody in that peer-to-peer network. So they actually match that hash. Yeah, Professor Ratul was talking about the hash of all the blocks are matched. If the hashes are matched, then they say that yes, the machines say that yes, it is a proper block. Otherwise, the block is not proper. I believe I tried to answer your question. However, Professor Ratul, to you again, how people come to consensus whenever any transaction happens?
Yes, sir. You are absolutely right, sir. Basically, the same thing. I want to say that whenever the hash value, I will just coming to the section, so that the previous the hash value of the first one is coming as a next hash value.
Okay, so if this hash do not match in any system, definitely that system will reject it. So the
Reject.
consensus is 50% of the people or the machine must say yes to that hash or
Yeah.
accept that block. Okay, so can you please comment on Pi cryptocurrency? Professor, it is from Abhishek Haldar.
Sir, there are the lots of cryptocurrencies there, but there is the if you consider for the few coins are called the alternative coin. So that this try cryptocurrency, I believe it is coming to the alternative coin that is called the ALT coin, and basically people are randomly create different kind of coin or different kind of digital currency. Now some of the example of this one is the Ethereum, Litecoin are there. Under the Litecoin there are the another coin is there, another new famous coin is the Doggy's coin. Now it is the one of the famous coin. So these are coming to this try currency.
Okay, okay, thank you, Professor Ratul, and thanks to all members, all IEM and UEM family members. I think I don't have any other questions, so thank you. Thank you to all IEM family members. Thanks to Professor Ratul.
Thank you, sir.